Holy crap, you scanned a GEOS datapad? I haven't seen one of those since I signed up. They're a local brand on Gateway Station. Tower 6, level 33. They'd acquire parts from big companies, closeouts, auctions, and assemble them into gear the megacorporations would charge twice as much for. Somebody on Wayland's staff must be my neighbor. I'm from Gateway, born and raised. It's a primary orbital port for the United Americas built in 2030. We hold geosync over Quito, Ecuador, but we're an independent territory. 30,000 permanent residents, our own rep in the UA Assembly, and our own customs laws.
That must have been made by a member of the Wayland-Yutani team studying the ruins on LV-895. They're strange. The outermost, you could mistake for something built by humans. Big slab stone construction. The only weird parts are the doors. The second section has the heads and statues. That's not stone. It looks like it, but samples show woven helical structures. Rigid collagens, aragonite, biopolymers. Bone. Genetically engineered, stronger than steel. Finally, there's the section of carbonized metal, the deepest and most advanced bits. Encased behind the metal are biological systems, nerves, and organs. I don't know what to make of it. It's like there's 2 or 3 different cultures, different technology levels. But there's a set of characters in all 3 sections. They translate something like, those who birth and kill. Esther says creator-destroyers is probably closer idiomatically. So, Esther said I should explain the pathogen for you. The genetically engineered mutagen Paula Station experimented with. Wayland-Yutani provided a jar of it, but never said where they got it from. Now I know it was from those ruins you found. The animals we used pathogen on got faster, stronger, more durable, but crazy aggressive too. The company wanted financially viable mutations. When Administrator Bellows arrived, he had pathogen tested on xenomorphs, and that's when everything went off the rails. That was the lab's consensus theory. Genetically engineered nanobiotech, definitely artificial, unbelievably complex. Way beyond any technology they'd seen. Someone designed it to do what it does. Someone a hell of a lot smarter than us. Well, I'm an anthropologist, so anything I tell you I got secondhand. I may not remember it right. The team had 2 xenobiologists. Cruz thought pathogen unraveled the telomeres in DNA, then swapped around sections of code. And Pryor thought it activated alleles and non-coding DNA. They couldn't figure out why mutations weren't 100% consistent. It was Etienne who came up with the theory that pathogen can blend the host's DNA with that of viruses or bacteria in their body. Never. Matthews thought its ability to enter cells was blocked or inhibited by polysaccharides, cell walls, like in plant or fungal life. Animal species never have cell walls, at least none we've seen. That's been true on every planet we've surveyed. We didn't get a choice. Bellows put his own synths in charge of security. He had xenoeggs. He could have done whatever he wanted with us. If it makes any difference, the last surviving pathogen experiment was Monica. The gray-striped xeno you killed on Katanga. We never found a way to safely dispose of it. Critters mutated by it we could kill. Pathogen itself? I don't know. The safest thing is to leave it in those jars. They're pretty tough. Sure, you gotta be busy. Anytime you want to talk about pathogen or anything, I'll be here.
An alien ship. That's the source of the gravity distortions. We don't know yet what Cynthia's trying to do with it. Who knows what's on that thing or what it can do. Get aboard, shut it down, by any means necessary.
Cynthia's final orders were to prepare Asset Zero, the alien ship, for activation.
Activated for what?
Nothing good. Fireteam, get aboard and stop it.
You see this? Check this out.
pathogen jars.
They dangerous?
Only if opened. We couldn't dent the casing.
Incoming! What is that? What the fuck were those?
I guess pathogen mutations of some native life form.
Fireteam, those aren't people. Doc, I really hope that wasn't nobody you knew.
I'm okay. I mean, I didn't know anyone was even here.
More from behind! Secure. You're nearly to the target.
Dispatching this to Earth seems ill-advised.
What the
Hold steady. Merely a scan.
Or what?
Insufficient data, but it appears you passed.
Alright, how can we stop this thing? Options, people.
Cynthia's remnants are likely to have a control center.
Heads up, pathogen critters! Fireteam, let's ground this ship. There's likely more weird critters.
Everyone get this intel? arm. I'll get those bastards for this. All right, 8 kits.
Huh. Guess the mutants don't like synths. Signal's closing! Something's coming! Signal's fuzzy!
Leon!
Synth download complete. Beginning analysis.
The Leon Stalker. That was native life. A big cat with chameleon abilities. Watch for the shimmer. They blend, but not perfectly. Jesus. Wayland moved all the pathogen here.
Storage. For transport to labs in the core. Analysis complete. The synths are working from a location on the upper levels.
Then we keep heading up.
Might we get a closer view of the hologram?
Incoming! Both sides! Move on.
There is an open synthetic near field on the far end of the room.
Ready to go.
Need ammo?
Mierda, Cynthia's team cannibalized one of their own?
The exit to the control room has been sealed. Quantum encryption.
Got more pathogen. Clear them out!
Gun ready.
See this?
The door encryption is complex. There are other synthetics nearby. If one has an intact memory core, I may be able to reconstruct the cipher.
Thermal signal could be a stalker.
That core is cracked. Perhaps another.
I'm gonna call that one a negative.
Grabbing ammo.
This one is intact. Stand by.
Pathogen coming from topside.
Patching up.
Sentry's ready to go.
Board's clear. Esther, what's your progress?
I have reconstructed Cynthia's cipher. Access the upper door, over where you entered.
Whoa. Is this something we can mess with?
No, the controls are locked.
Get us to whatever
some
passes
intel.
for engineering. We'll take out the power, stop it from lifting off.
I just want to say, if you could not blow the ship up.
Right, important to science or history or whatever. We'll do our best, Doc.
materials from the synthetic call this room Vitality Oven to grow. Great. Idiomatic energy capacitors.
Aid kit here. Grabbing ammo. Nice!
Access the control instrumentality.
Rearming.
On the ceiling, the same capacitors we encountered in the previous section. Disable the enzymatic fuel cells. Ah, I see a 70% reduction in power flow. There must be more capacitors. Got it. Shoot those two. Fuzzy signal. Watch for a stalker. Capacitor down! Mutants from all over! Power buildup slowed 50%. Don't see any more capacitors. There is another instrumentality at the far end.
I'll kick those bastards.
Enter the sequence. Bone, protective, withdraw. Two additional capacitors have been exposed. Buildup rate reduced to 16%. The final capacitor is in the center on the floor. We do not believe the alien ship will fly again.
We'll keep a garrison aboard anyway. Thing's half alive. Be just our luck if it heals itself, too.
When you return, please turn in your uniform. We may learn something from the pathogen bloodstains.
The synths used a flute to start up the alien ship? A flute. Alright, fine. Makes as much sense as a 4,000-year-old ship with nerves and organs. I can't even tell what direction it's supposed to fly in. Maybe it doesn't matter. The public address was talking about paragravity drive. We have artificial gravity, right? Scale up that tech, perfect it. You can use it to counter gravity. Float over a planet like you're in zero G. Or project a gravity well in front of your ship and just fall into it. If the engineers who made those ruins have that kind of technology, I don't know how we'd fight them. Say one of those shows up over Earth, loaded with pathogen. How do we fight something that could throw a singularity at us?
Wow. That's genuine alien technology. You can touch it. It's real. This is a helmet from one of the ruin builders, right? What did Weyland-Yutani call them? Engineers. Okay. From the suits and the statues, we can tell the engineers were biped and humanoid. Hands with fingers. A head with sensory organs. A lot like Earth life. Very human. But 3 meters tall. giants. Look at the interior of that helmet. It looks like blood vessels. Glands? That isn't mechanical, not entirely. It's biotechnology. I wonder if all engineer equipment is like this.
I put you in for a commendation, but we ain't got one for grounding a 4,000-year-old alien ship. Cynthia loaded that thing with an assload of pathogen and was sending it toward Earth. Could be Weyland-Yutani would have recovered it safe and handled it all responsible like. Yeah, I can't say that with a straight face. Yo, fuck the company. We're setting a perimeter around the ship. Too early to tell if it'll hold. There's a lot of mutants and Xenos down there. Palace Station, the main part where Hanukkah worked, is still infested. But no sign of the Queen yet. Gracias a Dios. That ain't our problem. Yet. We gotta deal with the Katanga hive. Listen up. There's a Xeno Queen on Katanga, laying eggs. Colonel Ship says we gotta destroy the refinery. But the problem is, Endeavor, she ain't got the firepower. Katanga's a whole damn city in space. We could incinerate chunks, but we ain't got enough heavy ordnance for it all. So here's the deal. We're gonna overload the refinery's fusion plant. That's gotta be done from a control center at the heart of the hive.